Come over here a minute. Henry came with his head down and his feet dragging in the dust. He looked worried, maybe even guilty, but that was all right. Yes, sir? Tell this man where's your mama. I don't know. When you called me to breakfast Friday morning, she was gone. Packed and gone. Lester was looking at him keenly. Son, is that the truth? Yes, sir. The whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Papa, can I go back in the house? I've got schoolwork to make up from being sick. Go on, then, I said, but don't be slow. Remember, it's your turn to milk. Yes, sir. He trudged up the steps and inside. Lester watched him go, then turned back to me. There's more here than meets the eye. I see you wear no wedding ring, Mr. Lester. If there comes a time when you've worn one as long as I have, you'll know that in families, there always is. And you'll know something else as well, you can never tell which way a bitch will run. He got up. This isn't finished. It is, I said. Knowing it wasn't. But if things went all right, we were closer to the end than we had been. If. He started across the dooryard, then turned back. He used his silk handkerchief to mop off his face again, then said, If you think those 100 acres are yours just because you've scared your wife away, sent her packing to her aunt in Des Moines or a sister in Minnesota. Check Omaha, I said, smiling. Or San Lu. She had no use for her relations, but she was crazy about the idea of living in San Lu. God knows why. If you think you'll plant and harvest out there, you'd better think again. That land's not yours. If you so much as drop a seed there, you will be seeing me in court. I said, I'm sure you'll hear from her as soon as she gets a bad case of bronchitis. What I wanted to say was, no, it's not mine. But it's not yours, either. It's just going to sit there. And that's all right, because it will be mine in 7 years, when I go to court to have her declared legally dead. I can wait. 7 years without smelling pig shit when the wind's out of the west? 7 years without hearing the screams of dying hogs, so much like the screams of a dying woman, or seeing their intestines float down a creek that's red with blood? That sounds like an excellent 7 years to me. Have yourself a fine day, Mr. Lester, and mind the sun going back. It gets pretty fierce in the late afternoon, and it'll be right in your face. He got into the truck without replying. Lars waved to me and Lester snapped at him. Lars gave him a look that might have meant snap and yap all you want, it's still 20 miles back to Hemmingford City. When they were gone except for the rooster tail of dust, Henry came back out on the porch. Did I do it right, Papa? I took his wrist, gave it a squeeze, and pretended not to feel the flesh tighten momentarily under my hand, as if he had to override an impulse to pull away. Just right. Perfect. Are we going to fill in the well tomorrow? I thought about this carefully, because our lives might depend on what I decided. Sheriff Jones was getting on in years and up in pounds. He wasn't lazy, but it was hard to get him moving without a good reason. Lester would eventually convince Jones to come out here, but probably not until Lester got one of Cole Farrington's two hell for leather sons to call and remind the sheriff what company was the biggest taxpayer in Hemmingford County, not to mention the neighboring counties of Clay, Fillmore, York, and Seward. Still, I thought we had at least 2 days.